Okay guys, welcome to my first tutorial. This one's going to be about how to make these fabulous little vintage inspired iron-ons that I make. Oh, I don't know what's going on with my screen. Bear with me. Okay, first thing you want to do is you want to get your graphics. I get mine off of Etsy. They have really cute little vintage things. I'll put a link below so you guys can get yours. They're around $1, $3, some are $4. But here's one that I got. It's a little Thanksgiving girl. She's carrying a pumpkin. Super cute. Make sure when you're looking, you're getting the PNG file. That's the one that's going to give you this background that's clear, essentially, when you lay it on a piece of paper. Alright, so here's the first thing you do. First, you need a new piece of paper, US paper, letter size, 8.5 by 11. I just find like the size of that size of a piece of paper is usually about the width of a child's chest, so the 8.5 works pretty good for that. Then you want to go back to your little PNG file and just pull it down here. And when you do that, what it does is it opens up all the layers of that file, but it also minimizes your screen or your image, and so you're able just to drag it right on top of your 8.5 by 11. Go ahead and hit the X and get rid of this little minimized screen, and then what you're left with is your 8.5 by 11 page with your PNG file layered on the top. The reason we do this is because you then need to go to your free transform. You click up here, we call these the marching ants, it's the marquee tool, and then you right click free transform, and if you come over here and wait till your arrows turn sideways like that, do you see how they're going like that? Hit shift and then drag it out. Then you can resize it without it getting messed up, because if you don't do that, then you'll have like this kind of thing going. You can do like make her look kind of real thin, and it's just not very cute. So if you hold down the shift down and then resize, it keeps everything from getting wonky. Okay, so once you have it, pretty big, you can move on to other things. So for me, I felt like this area was a little light and might get lost when I do my iron-on, so I wanted to make it darker. And because of my Photoshop knowledge, I know that I can go to my adjustment layers here and I can click this levels adjustment. And what it does is it pulls up your levels, but it also gives you a mask. So you can mask it off in areas that you don't want it to apply to and put it onto areas you do want it to apply to. So here's what I did. So I pulled this level to the right, which gives it more contrast. Essentially all it did was make it a little darker. I'll toggle on and off so you can see. See how it just kind of made it a little bit darker? Alright, so anyway, I don't want it applied to the entire image. I really don't. So instead of this being white, what I want to do is invert it. And there's a shortcut, keyboard shortcut for that. And that's Control I. And that turns it into black, which means it didn't put it on the entire image. So now the whole image is masked off. So then you go to your brush and make sure you have a white colored brush. And then you want to mask on the areas that you wanted to just make it look a little darker. I'm at 100% opacity. My flow is at 80. That's fine. That doesn't really matter. And then you just want to go through, just make it. I like her little shoes to be a little darker. Just these edges around, just from personal experience of doing these iron-ons. Okay. Now the other thing is my daughter's not a redhead. She's a brunette. So I wanted to make it a little brunette girl. So I'll go to selective color. Do you see it up here in the adjustments? Selective color, and see all these reds in her hair? I'm going to change those. So I'm going to go into the cyan and I'm going to pull it to the right. See how that kind of made it browner, got rid of some of that? You can also pull the magentas. Oh, went the wrong way. The other way, but I felt like that was making it a little more green than I wanted, so I didn't really want to mess with that. Alright, so we'll go back, put that back at 0. The cyans are good enough for me. I felt like it got rid of a lot of that red. If you want to see how much, you can just toggle on and off. See the difference there? Okay, but what it did was it also applied it to the pumpkin. I don't want that. Again, we'll go back to the layer mask, Control I, invert it to black, so then it's completely masked off, and then I can apply it to just the areas that I want to. Make sure you have a white brush, and there we go. We're going to mask off. We're going to put it on our hair, so we're going to apply it just to the areas that I'm brushing in now. And that's how you do that. Cute, right? Soup's easy. Alright, so next thing I wanted to do is I like this pumpkin, but I want it a little bit brighter. And I tried to do it with the Vibrance, and some of these PNGs won't really work that. I used Vibrance. I didn't find like it did a ton. I mean, you can kind of see it, but it didn't do a ton. So I'm going to put that back at 0. And what I think I'm going to do is use this saturation. So in Photoshop, when you're doing pictures of people, you usually don't want to use the saturation because it makes their skin a little wild. But for graphics, it seems to be working pretty good. So I wanted to see, did I do too much? Her skin looks a little orange now. I think it's okay for graphics, but again, I'm just going to go ahead and mask it off. So I'm going to Control I, and then I'm going to use a white brush onto the black part, and then I'm going to kind of rub into this pumpkin again. Just go through, paint on. Alright, that's cute, super cute. If you want to see everything that you've done, you can highlight all of these by holding the shift and selecting them all, and then go to layer up here, and then you can group your layers, and then you can see what it looked like before by toggling on and off this eyeball. See there? Look what I've done to her in that pumpkin. That pumpkin looks way better now. Alright, and then from there what you want to do is make a new layer and add any text that you might want. Some people might not like text. I like text. I think it adds to the little vintage feel of it. But if you click on text and then you look up here, that'll show you what color your text is, and you can click here and you can choose the gamut here. You can pull this up and choose any number of these colors. What I typically like to do is, do you see how this turns into a little eyedropper tool there? I like to just click inside of the image and get a color from inside of the image. In this case, I just want black. I think just a plain simple black is really nice. Let's see, it is good to give him, I think it's good, oh, there we go. It is good to give him thanks and praise. That's really cute. This is said in the Catholic Church a lot. I don't know if that's a very Christian saying, but we say that a lot in the Catholic Church. I think it's really nice for Thanksgiving. It's really cute. And basically, to get it onto our page, there's only one more step we have to do before we can print. What you want to do is go into Image Rotation, and then you want to flip horizontal. Okay, so the words are backwards. Don't stress out. When you print it, it's going to be right when you iron it on because of the way that the paper is and the way that the glue or the whatever it is that adheres to the t-shirt, it's going to print on it accurately. So you're going to be ironing it on kind of upside down. So that's why you have to do it this way if you have words on it. If I didn't have words on it, what would it matter if her pumpkin's left or right? I don't think it would matter one way or the other. This is really cute though, so I think it's ready to print. So we're going to do File, Save As, and then you want to save it as a JPEG. As you can see, I've already saved a couple because I was working on this tutorial. And then you want to save it, thanks, t-shirt, or whatever it is you want. Save, and hit OK. Once that's saved, you can actually just print from here. If you don't want to save it, you can go ahead and just print from here. Control P, and print any way you normally go about printing. Just make sure you use your paper that we talked about when doing these iron-ons. Thanks guys, talk to you soon.